Hi, welcome to day 15 of your 21-day yoga challenge with Living Your Yoga. Let's begin. Come into a comfortable seated position. If having your legs crossed isn't for you, then by all means have the legs straight out in front, or maybe come onto your knees. Feel the length of the spine from the tail to the crown of the head, and just let the shoulders soften. See if you can either close your eyes or just lower your gaze to the ground, but have like an intention of softening your eye sockets at the same time. And you might feel a little bit of release of any tension around the forehead and the eyes. And then feel the space between the upper and lower jaw. If you've got any tension, you might like to bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth, and you open the mouth a little bit so it's like you can feel a little bit of stretch in the jaw, and then let the tongue rest on the floor of the mouth. And either with the eyes closed or the gaze lowered, just let your attention turn inward for a moment. And we often bring our awareness to the tip of our nose so we can feel the coolness of the air enter the nostrils and the warmth of the air leave the nostrils. But maybe for today, you might like to just try bringing the hands on the body, either on the belly or the ribs or on the chest. And just notice the movement of your body as the air comes into the space when your body expands. And then as you exhale, you can feel that gentle contraction as the breath leaves the body. You might like to place, I quite like to place one hand on the belly and one hand on the chest. And just feel gentle expansion and gentle release. And sometimes if sort of observing the breath makes you feel a bit anxious or uncomfortable, then placing the hands on the body can sometimes bring a little bit more comfort and ease into this sort of breathing observation. And you might just notice the gentle movement, which is the reflection of the rhythm of your breath. And then you might be able to tune into the quality. Maybe the inhalation feels slightly longer or shorter than the exhalation. Maybe the inhalation feels quite free and open, and the exhalation feels like it has a bit more of a struggle, or vice versa. Or maybe it's nice and smooth already. It depends when you end up doing this class in the day. And as you're here working with a little bit of breath observation, you might like to have a gentle inquiry. Just notice how your body feels this morning. Day 15 of the challenge, hopefully you're feeling a lot more sort of ease with mobility and movement, and a sense of awareness of your body and yourself, how you're feeling. Maybe notice your energy at the start of today's session. And then just notice how you feel. It's quite a nice way to start any yoga practice or any movement practice. Checking in with how you feel emotionally or mentally before you start your movement. And then we're just going to bring the hands onto the lap or onto the knees and come into gently circling around your center. So circle first in a clockwise direction, and the shoulders are nice and relaxed to begin with. So all effort comes from the center. If you imagine you've got a hula hoop, you're just gently trying to keep that hula hoop moving around you. So we're trying to keep the shoulders soft, the jaw remains soft, and you can still do this with the eyes closed, which can feel quite nice. And noticing the movement of the breath and this circling can almost make the breath feel a little bit more sort of intense, a bit more of an intense experience with your breathing. And then the opposite way. You might sort of start to become aware a little bit of the diaphragm when you're circling like this, as you're breathing in and breathing out, and just with ease. Sometimes when we change directions or start a new movement, we can sometimes hold the breath. That's why I always continually talk about notice the breath, breathe freely. And then from this circling, you're going to start rocking backwards and forwards. So it's like a seated cat-cow. So you rock onto the front of the sit bones, lengthen the front of the body. Just lift the gaze slightly, lengthening through the throat. Keep the neck long. And then exhale, tuck the tail under. Let the chin come to the chest. And inhale, gently roll forward. And your elbows will bend if you've got your legs crossed, lengthening the front of the body. And exhaling, the arms will straighten as you round the spine, easing back, lengthening the back of the body. We'll just do this a few more times. So this is always a really nice alternative, and you can do this sitting on a chair as well. So you can still get some really nice movement, cat-cow mobility, whether you're on a chair or on the floor. And we'll just do it one more time. Inhaling softly through the nostrils, lengthening the front of the body, and exhaling, lengthening the back of the body. And then come up to a neutral spine. And we're just going to let the left shoulder come forward and turn the gaze to look over the right shoulder. And then come back to center and let the right shoulder, as though it's coming down the center, and then turn over the left shoulder and come back to center. So let's add a bit of breath, exhaling. Left shoulder comes forward, turn the gaze to look over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right shoulder forward, look over the left shoulder. And back to center. One more time on each side. Take this nice and slowly, especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning. Just be nice and gentle with the neck. And then come back to the center. If you've got your legs crossed, cross the opposite way. So might feel a little bit strange now. And then let's bring the right hand down to the ground. Reach the left hand up to the sky. Keep both sit bones rooted. And just gently exhale and hold here. Breathing in, breathing out. You're trying to get the arm over the ear. So if the arm's collapsing forward, just lift the hand higher up to the sky. Don't stretch so far over. Make sure the shoulder's comfortable. Breathe in and breathe out freely. Notice if you can feel a bit more of expansion here as you inhale. And then we're going to simply breathe in your own time. Reach the arms up and exhale over the other way. So keep both sit bones rooted into the ground. Keep the neck nice and long. Remember, your neck is part of the spine, so often the head drops. Keep it nice and long. Stay with the awareness of the whole of the spine. We're going to go over again. So let's breathe in and breathe out. And this time, especially if you're sitting on the ground, if you're sitting on a chair, you might like to hold on to the bottom of the chair seat. If you're sitting on the ground, bring the right fingertips onto the ground now. Hold on to the right ear with the left hand. And you can slide the fingertips over as you turn and let your left ear move towards the left shoulder. So you're gently lengthening the right side of the neck. For some of you, you might like to hover the arm above the ground if it feels a bit tight. And breathe in and breathe out here. So keep this right shoulder soft, keep the left shoulder soft. Let the jaw remain soft. Feel the stillness of the tongue inside the mouth. And allow the eyes to be soft still as well. You can keep the eyes closed here if you like. Breathe in and breathe out. And we're gently going to release here. Bring the head back up to the center. And now we're going to reach right arm over. Keep both sit bones down. We're going to do exactly the same. Breathing in, breathing out here. And then we're going to breathe in, reach the arms back up through the air, and breathe out again. Breath in, breath out here. And then we're going to come through again. This time you're going to come onto the fingertips with the left hand. Bring the right hand onto the left ear and bring the head all the way over as though you're bringing that right ear towards the right shoulder. Just gently, with a view to lengthening the left side of the neck. Fingertips on the ground or the arm can hover outwards. And just feel a real gentle lengthening of the left side of the neck, only as far as this is comfortable for you. And keeping everything soft, soft jaw, soft shoulders, free breathing, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose or the mouth. And then gently release the arm and come back to the center. Lengthen through the spine and just turn the head really softly from side to side now. Notice how all that feels. And then we're going to bring ourselves into a little all fours position. So come hands underneath the shoulders, knees are hip width apart, And let's just breathe in into our cat pose. We've already warmed the spine up with our seated cat-cow. Exhale into your cat. Notice how it feels in a slightly different position. Same movement, same awareness of the spine. Inhaling cow, exhaling cat. And then this time, breathing into cow. When you exhale through into cat, bring the bottom back onto the heels for child. Keep the arms straight. Inhale into cow. Exhale through cat. And come back into child. So you can carry on working with this sequence. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. And back into child, if that feels good for you. If you want a little bit more than that this morning, you inhale into your cow, turn the toes under, exhale into dog, gently tone the lower abdominal area just a little. Inhale back into your cow, and exhale, take it back into dog. So if you're looking for something a little bit more dynamic this morning, inhaling, you might like to work with this part of the sequence, inviting your downward dog in straight away. Otherwise, inhaling into cow, exhaling through cat, and come back into child. We're just going to do this one more time, whether you're working in your cat, cow, and child pose or your cow to dog. The next time you inhale, if you're working in all fours, take yourself into a flat back. If you're working in down dog, just pause there for a moment. So let's take a breath in and extend the right leg back, point through the toes if you're in all fours. If you're in a down dog, just extend the leg as high as is comfortable, with awareness trying to keep the pelvic bowl nice and stable, releasing the head and the neck. Breathing in, breathing out here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you're on all fours, you're just going to gently lower that right leg down. And exactly the same on the opposite side. Extend the left leg. See if you can get some extension through the neck as well. Breathing in, breathing out here. Or if you're in your down dog, extending through and point through the toes or through the heel if that's more comfortable for you. A lot of the time we have sort of dead feet. So really reach into the toes. So it really helps to keep the leg nice and light, nice and active. 3, 4, and 5, lowering all the way down. So there's a couple of options for the next set of exercises too. When you're in an all fours, we're going to raise that right foot, so keep the right knee bent, and then exhale, round the spine as though you're doing your cat pose to bring the knee to the nose. So you'll breathe in and breathe out, knee to nose. If you want to do this in a down dog, you extend the leg and you exhale, bring the knee to the left elbow, and you inhale, reach the leg high, exhale to the right elbow. And then you can inhale, reach the leg, exhale, knee to nose, just like we're doing on the floor. Inhale, extend. We'll do 3 more rounds. Touch the left elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, touch right elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Let's swap over. So if you're in all fours, breathe in, raise the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhaling, lift, lengthen through the neck. Exhale, knee to nose. And you're carrying on from your down dog, extending over to right elbow. Inhaling, extend. Exhaling to left elbow. Inhaling, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. And let's go again to right elbow. And keep the breath nice and stable. Move to the rhythm of your breath if I'm going too fast or too slow. Move to your own speed. And then come down onto the knees and come up into a high knee. Palms together. Open the hands like a book. Back of the hand touches. Fingertips go down. Move away and palms back together. So a little bit of wrist release here. little bit of coordination, and just have easy breath. And then we'll take it the opposite way, breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll come back into all fours. And we're going to just have a little look at balance that we've looked at previously in our 21-day yoga challenge. So you come into all fours, raise that right leg, and just bring that left hand behind you and reach towards the right ankle. If you are grabbing onto the foot or the ankle, then press the foot away as though someone's trying to pull the right foot away from you, and simultaneously draw the right foot towards you. So you can feel a little bit of tension, like that sort of push-pull, and try and keep the left shoulder neutral. So instead of it being pulled right back, find a sense where you can hold it nice and stable, so we're not trying to pull on any of the ligaments or tendons in your shoulders. And breathe in and breathe out here. So you can see that I've got a little bit of a sort of a cow spine that we've already been warming up and working with. I'm just lifting the gaze to look ahead. Now, sometimes we don't like this pose in my classes. So bring the left hand down and then hold on with the right hand instead. See if that one feels better for you. Everyone has a favorite side and everyone has a favorite variation of this balance. So breathing in, breathing out. And I'm doing exactly the same here. My right foot's sort of pressing away, and then I'm pulling it towards me at the same time, pushing my hand on the ground, breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll slowly lower hand and knee to ground. Same on the opposite side now. So lift the left foot and then reach the right hand behind you, working towards, if you don't reach it, just extending the arm back and still maintaining the support of the spine and the length, and looking ahead is more than enough. And you'll just work gently towards catching onto the foot eventually. When the body starts to become familiar and comfortable with the balance and comfortable with the posture, breathing in, breathing out here. One side might be easier than the other, like I was saying before. Find that stability with the shoulder. And then let's swap over. Hand to ground, left hand onto left ankle. See if you prefer this side. Breathing in, breathing out. Finding that sense of stability. 2 more breaths. And then let's slowly lower all the way down. Hands and knees on the ground. So we're going to stay on the floor today because time's running away with us. So let's come down onto our tummies and look over the right shoulder. Bring the arms behind you so the palms are facing the ceiling. For some people, having the big toes touching can feel quite comfortable. You don't have to, just maybe don't have the feet wider than hip width apart. So this practice is a variation on locust or shalabhasana. So we're working here, though, the upper back, so you can keep the feet on the ground for the first set of these practices today. So we're going to direct the tailbone down and engage the quads so they feel nice and stable and strong towards the ground. And when you inhale, lift the head and the chest, swim the right arm round, and the back of the right hand touches the forehead. Exhale, release, and look over the left shoulder, let everything soften into the ground. Direct the tail down, engage the quads. Inhale, lift the head and the chest. Swim the left arm round, back of the left hand touches the forehead. Exhale, release, and look over the right shoulder. Direct the tail down, engage the quads. Inhale, lift head and chest, swim the right arm round, back of the right hand touches the forehead. Exhale, release, look over the left shoulder. Direct the tail down, engage the quads. Inhale, lift head and chest. Left hand comes round. Exhale, release, and look over the right shoulder. We're just going to do this one more time on each side. Direct the tail down, engage the quads. Inhale, lift head and chest. Back of right hand touches the forehead. Exhale, release. Look over the left shoulder. Direct the tail down, engage the quads. Inhale, lift. Left arm comes round, back of the left hand touches the forehead. Exhale, release. And just take a moment. Let's swim both hands on top of each other. Rest the forehead on the hands and maybe just rock the pelvis a little bit side to side. Breathing in, breathing out freely. Notice how that feels. And then we're just going to gently roll onto our backs. Draw the knees into the chest. Let the hands rest on the knees for a moment first. Don't force them into the chest. Just feel the natural lengthening of the spine as you rest the hands on the knees. Keep the shoulders nice and soft. And just a couple of gentle circles. Keep the knees together. And you might feel a little bit of pressure or ease going into the lower back as it presses against the ground. Just do this quite small and soft. And then the other way. So you're creating a little bit of a counter pose to your locust, your moving locust practices. And then let the feet come down, knees rest together. Let the hands rest on the body, wherever you found it comfortable at the start of the class today. And return back to noticing the movement of your breath now. Noticing how your body feels. Hopefully it feels a little bit more awake. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Maybe it feels a little bit deeper and fuller from your practice. And then just notice how you're feeling. Thoughts and emotions. And then you can either have a little rest here, or if you want to finish with me, thanks for practicing with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.